I am in the process of sorting some more embroidery floss that my grandma gave me a while back because I have a lot. This is the stuff I already had that I sorted by color. It's not accurate like at all because not all of them had numbers, and also I don't do cross stitch, so I kind of just do it by eye instead of by number. This is one box that I finished last night. And now I have this box to finish. The lid is broken, but there's a lot of like oranges in there. But here's what I have to do. These are all different browns. Then I have a little pile of reds to do. The browns are really intimidating. I don't know if I'm actually going to sort those or just throw them in here. But I've been wanting to record a video for a while, so I decided that this was a good time to sit and talk about some stuff that's just about me being a person, you know? I guess I want to talk about art because I'm doing this art stuff right now. I would consider myself an artist for sure. But it's hard to label myself as such because I feel like I don't do enough, you know? I think a lot of artists struggle with that, which is funny because it's like, what kind of like prerequisite is there for being an artist other than making art? But I have always I've liked music my whole life. I played the clarinet for a long time and then had to stop because of my health issues. I always liked drawing and painting. My family always considered me really creative. So I do enjoy creating things, but there's a part of me that it frustrates me a lot because I like to be good at things too, and that's a whole other deep-seated like concept that I've been learning to live with. Because I grew up as like a gifted kid, and when you're a gifted kid, you get told your whole life that like you're really good at everything and everything comes so easily to you. And so to suddenly have to actually try at things is like really foreign. And so usually when I wasn't good at something, I would just stop doing it and do something that I was good at. And I was always good at music, so I did music a lot. But I've been trying more recently, as I'm more mature, to do art for the sake of art instead of for the sake of it being good. And I've, a couple of years ago at this point, almost a couple of years ago, picked up embroidery as one of my forms of art. And I really do enjoy it. It's very meditative and like repetitive. I'm not amazing at it. I'll show you some of the things I've done. So the first thing is I made this little box for my embroidery stuff. It has a magnet sheet on it that has all my needles and some safety pins, and then all my extra bobbins are in here. And then I made a cover out of felt that has some different stitches on it, and then a needle and thread that I embroidered on there and just like super glued it. So there's that. I also have these things. This was the first thing I did. And that was in like June of 2023, I think. I really like this one. It's very me vibes. So that's nice. That's a nice one. This one is like inspired by Heartstopper with like the leaves and stuff. I really like the movement of it. The heart is not symmetrical, but it's fine. This one's just some little mushrooms with a bunch of different stitches. It was a little practice thing. And then this is one that I saw on YouTube that was like super simple, and it literally took me maybe 2 hours to do. So that was nice. My long-term project that I've been working on is this jacket. This was the first thing that I ever embroidered like fully that wasn't like practice. And they're just these wagon wheel stitches and some back stitch to make little stems, so there's flowers up here. Then I did this bee, this bumblebee right here. And then I have some little shapes. You can still see the marking pencil on here, like there's blue on here still. I need to clean it off, like right there. But there's just a bunch of little shapes all in different shades of green. And then recently I finished all of these flowers that are all just, it's just stem stitch. And then I put little leaves on the front because there wasn't quite enough room to put a flower between them. There's that one. And then on the collar, I did chain stitch in like the rainbow, like that. And I also switched out all of the thread on the buttons to be colorful, so every button has a different color thread on it. These ones right here. So that's my longest project right now. I guess while I'm up, I'll show you some more arty things that I have around my room. This is another embroidery thing I did. This is a lampshade. It's actually one of the easiest things to embroider on. And this is also just stem stitch because it looks like the most like continual line. There's just a bunch of swirls in green and yellow because that's the colors of my room. I have these little bead guys. These are frogs. That's a Waddle Dee from Kirby. This canvas, just shooting star. This is my bulletin board that has lots of stuff on it from across many years. That one is from a video game. That one is also from a video game. That one's from Supernatural. And that one is a card my little brother made me. And all of these are at least a couple years old. This one on the bottom right here is like very old. Like almost 10 years old probably. And I freehanded it. I didn't like draw over anything, so I was really proud of that one. This is one my friend made me. This is one that I made after watching a video of a guy making a weird thing with a weird stick figure, and I thought it was fun, so I did it. My little brothers call it a spider, but I think that one's fun and very silly. This is another one another friend made me. I made this one a few years ago as well. My baby brother made this for me this year for Valentine's Day. And then I made this one within the last year. It's not my favorite thing, but it has the colors, like, it has my favorite colors on it, so I like this one a lot. And then all of these over here are ones that I made. My dad got me this wooden, this was blank, it was just wood. He got it at Michael's, and then literally the day after Christmas, I painted it in my favorite colors to, like, match my room. This one's a couple years old as well. And then this one I made on my birthday. Not this last year, but the year before. My friend and I went to the park and had a picnic and watched Star Wars and painted. So that was pretty fun. I also have some jewelry. I really like making bracelets, beaded bracelets. And then I made these earrings, and these earrings, and these earrings, and these ones. I don't know if there's any more I made. I have more bracelets. I have ones with pronouns on them. I made this one. It says, "I hate it here." I made these two. Oh, these were for my Halloween costume, and I thought they were cute, so I kept them. And I also made this. My friend and I have matching ones. It's a little moth. And their favorite color is orange. I have the one with the orange background, and they took the one with the green background. I gave it to them for their birthday, so I'm not going to go over there, but down here is my whole shelf with all my craft stuff on it. That bag right there, that bag is full. It has like markers, pencils, colored pencils, pens, all sorts of stuff. I have 2 boxes of crayons. That's scraps to make shrinky dinks. Then I have some sketchbooks right there. And then that's my crafting shelf. So it's got, that's all beads right there. There's felt, more beads, a jacket that I haven't worked on in a while. And that's my keyboard. It's covered with a fitted sheet, but that is a keyboard. Oh, I didn't show that. That is a garland I made with it's just paper bows. I saw a little tutorial on YouTube how to you just cut some squares of paper and make little bows, and I made a bunch in green and yellow and put them on a rope to make a garland. And I think it's really cute. It's one of the first things I put in my room after I moved. Like one of my first extra things I put up. So I do enjoy creating, crafting, art, various forms of it. But it's always been a hurdle for me in terms of like overcoming the perfectionism, I guess. Which is funny because I guess in the past I never would have really considered myself a perfectionist, but that's because I was already good at everything. And so I was like, well, I'm not a perfectionist if I'm just good at stuff, you know? Another form of art, I guess, that I enjoy is makeup and clothing. And that's one thing that I didn't really do a lot for a really long time for a couple of reasons. The first one being that I've always been like a fat person. Even as a kid, I was fat. And, which by the way, fat's not a bad word. It's not derogatory. I'm saying like that's just how I was. So it was hard to find stuff that fit me, that helped me actually like express myself as a person. So a lot of it was just what's the easiest and cheapest to shop for, which was leggings and like long shirts or skirts. I wore a lot of skirts in elementary school because I could wear them for a long time because they were elastic, and I could buy longer ones that wouldn't get too short as I got taller. I was also very tall for my age when I was a kid. So there were just that's one of the reasons is that shopping when you're fat, especially as a kid, like in terms of adult clothing, especially for women, I think that things have come a long way, but for children, it really there's not a lot. Like there's not a wide range of choice there. So I shopped in the women's section a lot, even though I was like 10, because I was too tall and too wide to fit in like actual children's clothing, which also limited like what I was able to wear, because a lot of stuff that's made for like plus size people in general, even once I was in middle school and I was shopping in like the plus size women's section, is like frumpy old people clothes, which is as if all fat people want to dress like that. I don't really understand that. So that was one really big reason that I didn't really like dress up a lot as a kid or wear what I really wanted to wear, because I wasn't able to. Another reason is that I grew up Mormon, and there's this, I think in a lot of Christian religions, just the stigma again, and it's like about vanity, you know, where you being concerned about your appearance is seen as like a negative thing, which it can be, but it's seen as like a selfish and like kind of self-obsessed kind of thing. And then also there were like specific guidelines for young people about like how tight or how big your clothing should be and about flattering your body. And when I was already like big, I couldn't wear stuff that was tight, and so that got rid of a lot of things for me. I was already tall, so I couldn't wear stuff that was above my knees. Like even I went to girls camp one year, and there's a song about wearing dresses or skirts that are down to your knees or below them. So that was another big part of why I didn't feel like I had a lot of autonomy over my clothing as a younger person, which really is unfortunate, because it's such an easy thing for a kid to feel like they are expressing themselves. I think it's just really sad that there's like this idea that you have to like control your child in a way to make them think or believe the right way, as if their clothing outwardly has anything to do with like reflecting them as a person. It's kind of complicated. I also think that I had a lot of those expectations projected onto me, even if I didn't believe them, just because between religion and then like fat phobia and like shame about people's bodies, that I was told, not directly, but told kind of to have those same feelings about my body, even though I never really did. It's just very complicated. But kind of around the pandemic, when I started thinking about it more, um, and when I realized I was trans, I noticed how much I cared about like how I present myself and what I look like, and um, I started dressing more, I guess, in a more traditionally masked way. So in like middle school, where trans masks will be hyper femme because they're like, oh no, I'm not a boy. I'll be hyper feminine. Look, I can wear dresses to school and do my makeup every day. um, and then once I actually like realized it, I went the opposite direction and went like hyper mask to the extent that I could. Where I was like, I don't want to look like a girl because girls, blah blah blah. I'm not a girl, and I was like that for a couple of years. Um, I wore a lot of like graphic tees and baseball caps, which I still enjoy sometimes. I just don't wear them as much anymore. I wear a lot more like crop tops, high waisted pants, stuff I'm a little more comfortable in. Um, but once I was probably, I think my junior year, when I went back to in-person school, I really started thinking about like what I look like and how I present to people, because I um, was going back to school with a bunch of people who didn't know me. So I found it interesting that I could project like a person out into the world that no one had any preconceived notions about, right? So someone passing me in the hallway wouldn't be like, "Oh, that's the kid from blah blah blah," and I know that they used to blah blah blah, because I hadn't really been to school. I hadn't really been to high school. So a lot of those people didn't even know me and I didn't know them. So I was able to kind of uh fly under the radar, but also create like a new version of myself that I wanted to share with people. And so that kind of started my junior year, um, when I started wearing more things that I was happy and excited about wearing. Halloween of my senior year, so 2022, is when we got makeup to do our Halloween costumes, and I did winged liner for the first time, and I was like, this is like drugs. Like, I was so into it. My mom bought me my first like big kid eyeshadow palette that winter, and I got some makeup stuff for Christmas, and I'd wear it to school sometimes if I went in late and I had the time to. I started following people online who did their makeup, and I was having a great time because it was a lot of fun. And it is a lot of fun. I still follow a lot of those people. Makeup became another way of me expressing myself, along with my jewelry, my clothing, and I think my hair was the most recent thing that became part of like my self-expression journey. I do think I'm a creative person. I just, between the perfectionism and the uh, fatigue and mental illness, I have a hard time uh, allowing myself to be creative, because I'm like, there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons that I have a hard time. There are so many browns in this, and I don't know how to sort them, because I can't just sort them by darkest to lightest, because there's like green browns and orange browns and red browns, and like I don't have the time or the lighting or the energy to sort them all. So I'm just kind of throwing them in kind of by dark to light, sort of ish. I've been trying to be more creative recently with the downfall of humanity. With the now times. Queerphobia, racism, all the bad things that could happen to a civilization. Genocide, bad things. And I can't do a lot about those things because I don't have any influence, but I have seen a lot of people online saying, like, what you can do is create art and continue being defiant by doing what you want to do, because that's what they want to keep you from doing, is what you want to do. And I just think that's really inspiring. So I've been trying to do more artsy things recently. I've done a couple sketches in my sketchbook that I liked. One I even hung on the fridge like a toddler because I was like, this one's good. So I hung it up. I'm trying to do my makeup more often. I'm trying to think of more embroidery projects to do. Just to kind of continue creating and not letting the world, get to me the way that it's trying to. I realized I never showed you my sorting, the progress of my sorting. So, here you go. This is the one that I had already sorted. You can't really see the colors in there because it's so dark. There we go. And this is the one that I just finished. As you can tell, the browns are not super well sorted in there. But I kind of did them by, like, there's some more orangey red ones in there. There's some more green, blue ones in there. There's some purpley ones. I tried. There's the really dark ones up there. I tried my best, but anyway, that's all this was for. Was to show you that I finished it. Okay, bye. I hope that this kind of has been cohesive in some way. I'm not sure if it has. I feel like I kind of had a semblance of an idea and kind of a concept of a plan of what was going into this. So I hope it made some sort of sense and that maybe you resonated with some of it. I just really wanted to post something, and this was something I was thinking about, so I hope you have a good rest of your day and your week, because it is currently only Monday, even though it feels like it should be April already. I hope that you are able to be creative in your life, because creativity really is part of the human condition. It's part of existing. And I think it's really important to do. So whatever you do, whether you do traditional art, drawing, painting, or you play Minecraft can be creative, or fiber arts, embroidery, crochet, sewing, all that stuff, anything is good for the sake of creating. That's it. Bye.